Module 1, Lesson 18, Finding a Rate by Dividing Two Quantities. So again, this is actually just another way of scaling up our rates. Remember, rates are another way of looking at ratios. So today we're going to continue examining ratios as rates and quantities. So for now in your notes, you're just open to Lesson 18. Date on top of the page. Everybody should be on page 77 with today's date on top. I'm just going to put some notes on the board. I'll let you know when you should be taking notes in your module. Okay? So, at Fun Burger, the Burger Master can make hamburgers at a rate of 4 burgers a minute. In order to address the heavy volume of customers, he needs to continue at this rate for 30 minutes. If he continues to make hamburgers at this pace, how many hamburgers will the Burger Master make in 30 minutes? Okay, before we go any further, let's take a look at that slash. What does that mean? What word is that? Per. Right. So that's 4 burgers per minute. Instead of per, which is what it means, what else could it mean? Think of our verbal cue words for ratios. What else could we have used? Close. Yeah, for every. So if you want to write that on your paper to remind you that that slash means per. And also it's sort of like a fraction bar. That's what it can mean also, and you're going to see that in a minute. All right, so first of all, let's just start by talking about the rate. What is the rate that he can make hamburgers? What is the rate? 4 burgers per minute. Okay, you're not writing this down yet, we're just talking about it. So how long does he have to make the hamburgers? 30 minutes. Okay, now this is the part that I want you to write into your notes because these are the steps or the process, the information that you need to solve. So multiply the rate by the amount of time the Burger Master works. So basically we're going to take our ratio of 4 to 1 and scale it up because we're not looking at 1 minute, we're looking at 30 minutes. Okay? Previously we scaled down to find the rate. Now we're using the rate to get more information. So everybody should be copying this sentence down on their notes. Multiply the rate by the amount of time the Burger Master works. Okay, so what 2 things are we going to multiply? First, we're going to multiply the rate. So the rate was 4 burgers per minute. Now, just stay with me for a minute. Put your pencils down. I want to talk this out with you. So we have 4 burgers per minute. So we're looking at a ratio of 4 to 1. Can we also write that ratio as 4 to 1 as a fraction? Yeah. So that's 4 burgers per 1 minute, right? So I'm going to take that and then I'm going to write it like this, 4 burgers per minute. Plus we also know that a whole number 4 is the same thing as 4 over 1. That's the same thing. I'm going to erase that. So that's another way that we can write the ratio, 4 burgers per minute. So that's the rate. Now I have to multiply it by the amount of time. So what is the amount of time? 30 minutes. Didn't we just say a whole number can be written as a whole number over 1? So this looks like I have 2 fractions. This looks almost like multiplying 2 fractions. Before we go ahead and multiply our numerators and our denominators, what can we do? What do we know when multiplying fractions that we could do? We can cross-reduce. We're going to cross-reduce. So if I have minutes here and I have minutes here, I can cross those out. So now I'm left with 4 burgers times 30. So what's 4 times 30? 120 burgers. Now, hold on a minute. So let's think about it. Does that make sense? If he does 4 burgers in 1 minute, 4 burgers, 4 burgers, 4 burgers, 4 burgers, 30 times, so it's 4 times 30, 120?
Yes.
Yeah, so our process works. Now we're going to answer the question, but when we answer the question, we're going to answer it in almost like you would a conclusion in science. We're going to answer with an if-then statement. So we're going to say if, and then we'll state the ratio. If he cooks 4 burgers in 1 minute, then what? What'd we figure out? Then he will cook 120 burgers in 30 minutes. So I put the rate and the answer in an if-then statement. So now you can copy this in your notes. Let's try one more before we work on our centers. So Chandra is an editor at the New York Gazette. Her job is to read over each article before it is printed in the newspaper. If Chandra could read 10 words per second, how many words can she read in 60 seconds? So let's work through this together, then you can copy your notes. So put your pencils down. So what is the rate that is given? What is her rate?
10 words per second.
10 words per second. How long does she have to read? How long? 60 seconds. So now let's multiply them together. So we have 10 words per second times 60 seconds. I can cross-reduce my seconds. So 10 times 60 is 600. So now writing my answer in an if-then statement, if she reads 10 words per second, then she will read 600 words in 60 seconds. Okay, so right now you're going to copy down the equation, the problem, and the sentence. And when we start our centers, these are the 2 things you need to write down: the work and the sentence. And on your homework tonight, I also need to see the work and the sentence. Yeah.